Hello, today I'm going to talk about the figure I'm going to build for the International Scale Model Forum group build, which is for non-military figures. The figure I've chosen for this group build is the excellent miniaturist Fortis figure of Bill Sykes. This is a 75mm figure, which is made in resin and comes in 5 pieces. I bought the figure at the 2013 Euromilitaire at Folkestone. I bought it directly from the maker and it cost me £28. It is possible that the sculptor has drawn inspiration from the classic portrayal of Bill Sykes by Oliver Reed in the 1968 film directed by Carol Reed. I hope in my portrayal of the figure to capture some of that dark, brooding presence and a bit of menace. On opening the package, we find an A4 piece of paper with a bit of background information about the book of Oliver Twist and the characters of Bill Sykes and his dog Bullseye. Also, we get a very nice black and white photograph illustrating the figure. The first part of the figure we're going to look at is the main body, which consists of the upper and lower parts of the figure, the legs and the left arm. Overall, this is very nicely cast with excellent sculpting, which will allow a high level of detail and contrast to be dealt in with the paintbrush. However, while the overall impression is excellent, there is some cleaning up to be done, particularly as you can see on the inside of the right leg, where there is a very prominent casting mark. Still, a bit of care and attention with the back of a blade or the front of a blade scraped downwards, and some fine emery cloth, and it'll soon be smooth and ready for the paintbrush. While this is a fixable fort, I must admit that I'm a tad disappointed to see it there. The right arm comes separately on its own block. The attachment to the main block is really quite heavy and that'll need some care to remove. However, the attachment of the cudgel to the main block is really quite straightforward and will clip off easily. The cudgel itself is a very nice piece of work and I think will look very nice painted up as a piece of ebony. I look forward to painting this particular part. Next up we come to the head. The face is very nicely rendered. There's lots of lovely detail there, including a very fine scar over the left eye. The hair is very good, and the hat too has lots of detail that I'm sure will paint up very nicely. However, the hat is attached to the block at the back, and it's a very fine part of the rim of the hat. I'm not particularly looking forward to taking that off. Still, I'll do my best, and I'm sure it'll be repairable if I make my usual mistakes. Now it's Bullseye's turn. I have to say that this stands on its own as a fantastic little model. It captures the look of the dog expertly well, and with a black dot over his eye and suitable shading, he's going to really look the part of a dog whipping around his owner's ankles and growling at whoever takes a look at him. Here we see Tom Hardy as Bill Sykes in the 2007 BBC production of Oliver Twist. And there he is with his much mistreated bull terrier, Bullseye. And you can see that the modeller has captured the look of that particular breed very, very well. This little piece has a fair amount of flash, and the attachment points at the bottom of his paws to the block will need a little bit more care than I usually give to my model. So I'm going to be taking my time with this to make sure that I don't damage him at all. I think this is going to look spectacular at the end. Finally, we come to a small piece of base work, which takes the form of a square or rectangle with cobbles cast into the surface. Now this will look good with the model on the top, planted into a scene in a street, or perhaps at a dockside or outside of a pub. Where I use it or not, I'm not sure yet, because I'm not sure how I'm going to base it. But it's a good useful addition to have, and I'm sure it'll look the part when done. To conclude then, I really like this figure. There's a fair bit of work to be done before I can put a bit of primer down on it, but that's to be expected. And there's nothing major there that I can't cope with. This is the first time I'd have attempted a figure above 1/32 or 1/35, so I'm excited by that too. The subject matter is really quite different, quite interesting, and I hope that it fits in well with the rest of the group bell figures. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Overall, I think it's £28 well spent. Seems like a lot of money, but it's good quality, and you have to pay for that, of course. I met the sculptor and maker at Euromilitaire, and that makes it even a tiny bit more special too. This brings me to the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back soon, and hopefully you can see some of it being built. Thank you. That's all for now. Come back soon.